Welcome to the Dota 2 wrap-up, where we wrap up the last week at Dota 2. I'm your host, DJ Will.
Please listen carefully.
This week, I wanted to further expand on how the Omega League came to be. That Tortellini, published an article going through the details of the contract that the top EU teams, which I'm going to refer to as the Union, set up with WePlay and EEE to be able to put on the Omega League. This included not only a $650,000 prize pool, but also a 10% revenue share or $500,000, whichever one was larger, to be able to go to the Union. Tortellini stated that the event only made around $300,000 revenue, meaning that $500,000 went to the Union, and that the event lost between $700,000 up towards over $1 million. Further details of the contract, as stated in the last episode, show that there was an exclusivity deal with the Union and the tournament organizers, but also additional information came out that the Union would be endorsing these two tournament organizers for future DPC events and would prioritize their events over other non-DPC events. The Union was responsible for organizing the tournament, but the tournament organizers were ultimately responsible for producing it. An additional source told me that the Union was the reason why there was a Tier 2 tournament included, as they pushed to have it as part of the event and also to help promote the growth of the scene. Both the tournament organizers and the Union worked together to be able to promote the event, both Tier 1 and Tier 2. Overall, this was meant to be a mini TI in the lack of an international happening, and was internally considered an overall success. At the end of the day, the Union's goal is to be able to help maintain a healthy competitive scene while avoiding burnout and viewership fatigue while Valve is AFK. The Union plans to continue their work to help support the Dota 2 scene, being the first time that the esports organizations are taking it upon themselves to maintain the health of our beautiful scene. In recent roster changes, Fnatic and Jabz come to the agreement to part ways, with DJ moving into the position 4 and them acquiring AU in position 5, formerly from TNC Predator. FNG finally leaves Gambit and joins Alliance as their position 5 after several months of playing with the team. Hellraisers parts ways with their former captain Miposhka, while Draccio, Lil, and Non-Grata sub in for Virtus.pro Series 3. IG Vitality set up their new roster with Irving, QYQX, and Doodle, while replacing Dodo with Dogfights as their new coach. Team Empire announced their newest roster after letting go James and Mastery and benching Smiley Knight, and replacing them with Seiyu and Shaklo and Natty Narwhal as stand-ins. In podcast, the Side Poll podcast featuring DotaCapitalist and Leafeator discussed Valve's response on the DPC, streaming rights, and everything else that Reddit was bitching about. We Say Things featuring SUNSfan and syndereN finally hit episode 69.
What about the balls?
Yes, even that is better.
Continuing the Trent Zyori podcast also discussed at length Valve's announcement on the streaming rights and the future of the DPC. In player interviews, Position 6 is back after its long hiatus with an interview with Viking GG's Seleri to discuss what it's like to compete against the top EU teams. Coming up this week, the Virtus.pro Series Season 3 continues with the European Division and the Southeast Asian Division continuing on in the group stages, and the North American South American Division completing the group stages and kicking off the playoffs this weekend. Starting this Thursday, China region sees the very first LAN we've had since the COVID outbreak in the China Pro Cup Season 1, while the OGA Dota Pit Season 3 European CIS Closed Qualifier kicks off this Sunday. That's it for the Dota 2 wrap-up. I'm your host, DJ Will.
Please listen carefully.